In this video, I'm going to tell you how I became a digital marketer at the age of 22 with no experience, no formal experience, and no degree in the field. Self-taught. So how did I do it, and how can you do something similar? Now, for me, I actually had a degree in biology, in science, and that degree just was effectively kind of useless because unless you want to become a medical doctor, a PT, or you wanted to do research, it's kind of not really that useful. And I didn't find those paths very appealing for me. They're very gruesome and a lot of work. And so I wanted to pivot, but that's what I graduated university with. And so, how did I make that shift and get my foot in the door into the world of digital marketing? Well, first off, digital marketing was super exciting for me, and I felt like the employers saw that passion. It's this new internet age where everything's digital, everyone's buying stuff online, and every business needs a digital presence. So that passion was helpful, but also it's a very applicable skill. So there's so many ways you could get your foot in the door in different industries and companies. Now, I will have to admit and give you some real talk. The first year and a half was very difficult for me. I wanted to make this pivot and I was doing soul searching. I wasn't sure what I could do for a living. And it was a dark time. And, I would draw Venn diagrams, I would read books. And then slowly but surely, this hobby of mine of digital marketing and social media was something that just kept bubbling up when I was looking at job postings. So the next thing I did was, and probably one of the most impactful, was I structured my resume in a way that fit the keywords and job postings and things that they look for. Another big tip I did, and this is what got me my foot in the door at the company that hired me, was I was persistent. The employer, who was also the CEO, he actually acknowledged it on the interview. He's told me, I'm pretty impressed that you applied multiple times for this job. And so even though I didn't get a call back the first time I applied, I gave it some time and then I reapplied for that same company, and they saw that persistence. But really, that's not enough. I think the biggest thing that really stood out to them was the fact that I had some noticeable stats to show on that resume from my own personal projects. I told them that I had used SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, to improve my blog presence and grow it to millions of views, and be the number one search term for various video game keywords that I was targeting with my blog back in the day. Now, you might be thinking, well, I can't build a blog to millions of views. That's very hard to do. No wonder you got the job, but I can't do that. Well, listen, I have talked to a lot of job applicants, a lot of uh, people, and they have gotten similar jobs with much less achievements. It's not so much about the scale, but it's more so that you can show you understand the principles, you're a quick learner, you're smart, and you've used that to some extent to move the needle to some extent. It doesn't have to be millions of views. It can literally be, I grew a social media following for a local roofing company from 4,000 followers to 6,000. That's right. That's all you really need sometimes. So obviously, you want to actually go out, pitch local businesses, work for free, intern, volunteer. There's all these avenues to get that started. For me, I built my own social media platforms and my own blog and use what I learned, which, by the way, a lot of what they do is taught online for free through YouTube videos or courses or blogs. So you could self-teach yourself, and that's what I did. I went to all these top SEO and marketing experts, who like Neil Patel or Brian Dean, and they all have their own YouTube channels, podcasts, and blogs where they're trying to build their own personal brand. So they're giving away all their best tips for free because they want to get traffic. And then you just listen to what they say and implement it. And that's how you start to build success. I know it's not always easy because they sometimes give information overload because they're just pumping out content to make views. But I recommend just picking one piece of content. Don't overwhelm yourself with 20 articles. Just pick one piece of content and then study it, learn it, understand it, and then use it one step at a time to get to where you need to go. So when you put that all together, you want to craft that resume so that it actually fits the job posting. Not all jobs are looking for the same things. They may look for very similar things, especially when you're looking for the same roles, but some companies may be looking more so for Google Tag Manager experience. Others may be looking for SEO or pay-per-click or Google Ads. And so, with all these things in mind, I think one thing that you want to consider is taking these that job posting and then crafting your portfolio, those personal projects, those achievements, and the keywords in your resume to fit those. Because that's what humans and robots, whatever scanning that resume, that's what they're looking for. There's a lot of words on the page. You can mention soft skills and blah, 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 but they're really just kind of scanning the resume and looking for those keywords oftentimes. Like, does this guy have, or girl, does this person have Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics experience, SEO experience? Okay, how can they prove it? Are they just saying that, or do they have an actual personal project where they increased sales or leads or traffic by a certain amount due to their principles? And so the last big tip I want to have for you is around resilience, persistence, uh, and knowing how the snowball works. You see, a lot of people, they just give up after a week or two or a month. And I literally spent almost a year and a half applying. The first few months were more soul searching, but I spent about a year applying to jobs after college. And even like senior year of college, my mom already told me to start applying. So I was applying like halfway through the year already, loosely, but it got more intense after I graduated. And the point is, it was a tough, dark time. But I will have to say that in my experience, the first step is the hardest. Once you have marketing experience under your belt already, then it becomes not infinitely easier. I'm not going to say it's ever easy, but it gets easier to get subsequent jobs. It's one of those catch 22 things where you're a fresh grad and then you are out of school and all the job postings for entry level positions say you need at least 1 to 2 years of experience in marketing, which is funny because you don't have that and it's entry level. So it's kind of a paradox. But I think it happens because companies can afford to be picky. And so they do, which kind of punts out a lot of entry level people. But I've done it. I've seen a lot of others, coworkers do something similar. And it's definitely doable. If you could get your foot in the door with the internship, which is a really easy way to kind of get that training from hands-on clients, get paid while doing it, and then oftentimes, in my experience, they offer like half of their interns full-time jobs after the internship ends. Uh, that's an easy way to get into the digital marketing agencies field. So there's so many paths forward. I think agency route is the best stepping stone because they're kind of built, an agency is kind of built to train new employees and then teach them and then level them up. And then you can move to in-house roles where you're just working for one company doing digital marketing. So I really think it is possible. Dude, I know how tough it is at first. The first year, it just seemed like it was impossible to get that foot in the door, and I just kept applying and applying. Oh yeah, and one last bonus tip I do want to mention that's huge: networking. Guys, a lot of people, one really well kept secret is a lot of people, they get their jobs through a referral, not through applying through the front door. Now the front door still works. A lot of people I know still go through the front door, but in terms of networking, that accounts for a lot of the jobs. Now I'm not talking nepotism where you have none of the right skills but you know the right people. I'm talking these people have the right skills and they network their way into a referral. And you don't necessarily have to know someone really well. It doesn't have to be a strong family member or strong tie. In fact, a lot of these are weak ties, friends of a friend. So if you have your networking game on point, you'll find job postings and opportunities that you never would have found on your own. And that's how you get in the door. That's how you get your resume to the top of the pile. And that's a whole other video I can cover on proper networking and how to do it right and how to find the right people to network versus just going to a generic networking conference. Those things suck. But the short answer for this video is you go on LinkedIn and then you find the exact companies, roles, industries, job titles that you with people you want to network with, and then that's one way of actually getting out there. It's more there's more details than that, but in this short video, I want to cover some of the basics. So thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, of course, and then join my free email newsletter where I offer free coaching sessions, paid coaching sessions, as well as exclusive insider tips I share nowhere else. Link is down below. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.